Motivation is a warm blanket. It feels good, it inspires you, it convinces you that change is coming. But motivation is a sugar high. It spikes, then it vanishes. The people who rise aren't fueled by how they feel today. They're driven by who they refuse to be. Motivation gives the illusion of progress. Discipline creates the reality. We live in a culture that worships motivation. Books, seminars, influencers, all selling the same message. If you're inspired enough, your life will change. It sounds empowering. It isn't. Motivation gives you one powerful sensation, the feeling that transformation is happening, even when it isn't. Psychologists call this the intention-action gap, where deciding to improve gives your brain enough dopamine to feel satisfied before you've done anything. This is why most people never follow through. They mistake emotion for transformation. You've lived this cycle. You get inspired, you make a plan, you start strong, then the feeling fades, and so do your actions. You're trying to build a new life with a fuel source that burns out. That's why discipline matters, because discipline is cold. It's uninterested in comfort. It shows up when motivation dies. Discipline is the version of you that remains when the excited version disappears. Here's the truth most people avoid. Your life is shaped far more by your identity than your intentions. Motivated people chase moments. Disciplined people build systems. Operators, they become someone who doesn't negotiate with their mission. In neuroscience, discipline isn't about willpower. It's about self-regulation. Your ability to override your emotions with intentions. Motivation comes from dopamine spikes. Discipline comes from your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that decides who you're becoming. Every time you choose discipline over emotion, you strengthen the neural circuits of identity. You're literally wiring yourself into a stronger, more stable version of you. Stoics taught that character isn't revealed in big moments, but in tiny, repeated actions. You become what you habitually do, not what you hope for, not what you promise yourself, what you do. Discipline is the practice of aligning your actions with the person you claim to be. An operator doesn't rely on emotional weather. They rely on standards. They train when tired, study when distracted, create when uninspired. Because an operator understands a simple truth. If your discipline collapses when discomfort appears, you never had discipline, you had preference. The brain resists anything that feels heavy. This is why people sprint into big goals and collapse a week later. Your job is to make starting easy. 10 push-ups instead of 50. 5 to 10 minutes of reading, 1 paragraph written, a 3-minute walk before attempting a run. Identity builds from repetition, not intensity. Rituals stabilize the mind. Stability builds identity. Identity sustains discipline. Your rituals should signal control to your nervous system. Water before caffeine. 5 minutes of silence, a clean start to the day, 1 hard task before checking your phone. You're not just doing tasks, you're reminding yourself who's in charge. Goals are external, they're things you hope to achieve. Standards are internal, they're the rules you operate by. A goal says, I want to become this kind of person. A standard says, this is who I am, and this is what I do. When you adopt standards, you remove negotiation from your life. This is where most people break. They believe discipline requires feeling ready. It doesn't. Motivation asks, do I feel inspired? Discipline asks, does this align with who I'm becoming? When you finally accept that you won't feel like it most days, you free yourself from emotional dependence. Every action you take is a vote for your future self. Every avoidance is a vote against it. You are casting votes all day, every day, and no one sees the tally except you. The disciplined version of you is always one small action away. You don't rise because you're motivated. You rise because you decide to. You show up when you're tired. You show up when you're unfocused. You show up when no one's watching. That's discipline. That's identity. That's autonomy. And the moment you stop waiting to feel ready, you become dangerous.